Hello, art people. We are going to go ahead and get started on the art project for this lesson. We are making a fish that will look something like this. It's going to be closed like this, and then you can open it, and then it will say the art class rules. So let's go ahead and get started. So grab your piece of paper, and you want it to be tall, like a tall building, versus side to side like this, like shorter. You want it to be taller, like so. And next, grab your pencil. The first thing you do is always the same. You pick up your pencil and you write your name in the bottom right-hand corner. So right down here. And your class, which is 2 because you're a second grader, and the first letter of your teacher's last name. Now you can put your pencil down. And the first thing we need to do is fold our artwork in half. So you're going to take the bottom and go up to the top. And once it is lined up perfectly, you can hold it down with one hand and press with the other. That was a little off, so I'm just going to try again. Here we go. And then you're going to take the top layer of this, so the part with your name, and you're going to fold this part down to the bottom, like so. And now we're going to draw our fish. Now we want this to be on the side over here. We need to have a lot of room over here to write our word. So almost half the right half, but we can do like the right 2/3 of it or so. So it's got to be over here, way over here. We have to have lots of room for our speech bubble. Okay, so the first part of drawing our fish is we're going to draw a rainbow line. And I can show you some different ideas. So you can do a rainbow line that goes up at the back like this. All right. Oh, and by the way, we just finished step 3 in our flow map. We folded the paper, and now we're on step 4. So we're going to look at some Paul Klee fish. So this is Paul Klee. This is our artist inspiration for this lesson. So if you want to do some top lines like these fish that he has here, you can do some of those. Here's some close-ups. So we're just looking at the top of the fish. Okay, and then let's go back. You can do a top like this, a top like this. So there's lots of different options of how you want to do the top part of your fish. Okay, so again, we're going to start about a full hand over from the left because we want lots of room here. And you're going to start where the fold is there, and you're going to curve up. This is for the face. And then you can start curving back down for the body. And then you can bring it back up before you get all the way down to this crease for the tail. So you can do a tail shape here. And then you can do the back of the tail. And again, it's whatever shape you want. You can do a wavy back of your tail, spiky back of the tail, whatever you want. I'll do something a little different this time and do kind of like these curves. So that's the bottom, or the top, I mean. And now we're going to do the bottom line here. So this is more of a smile curve line. So you can do that. And then again, going up wherever you want the tail to be, and then out, and then whatever you want the back of the tail to look like. So those are all your choices there. And now you get to decide what type of fins that you want. I'll just set this here so you guys can see it. Weigh it down with my water bottle. So I've got some wavy fins on mine. On this one, I'll do more bumps. So I'm just going to do a bump, 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 bump. So a little bit different on this one. And we'll do the same thing on the bottom, but you can maybe make it a little smaller. Okay, and next you need to do some, well, you don't need to, but if you'd like to do some details in the tail, you can. So you can separate the tail from the rest of the body. And if you'd like to go ahead and draw some details on the tail, you can do that. And then the next step is you're going to separate the If you'd like to separate the head from the rest of the body here, you can do a curved line doing that. Or you can leave it all the same. And then next you can draw an eye. So I'll draw a closed eye this time, but you can do an open eye like this one if you'd like. And the next thing is just the lips. So I'm going to do a top lip and a bottom lip. All right, and then the next thing is to do some sort of texture. Texture is just how something feels on the back here. So now we're still on step 4. We're drawing the fish. So you can do some wavy here, some polka dots, some stripes, some fins, or some scales rather. Oh. It's being a little funky. Oh, it's doing that. Yeah, so here's the Paul Klee one. So if you want to do a texture like those, go back up to the objectives. Oh. Okay. All right, so I am just going to do some curved lines this time. So you can go ahead and start doing the texture of your fish. And this is just a one-day lesson, just a short lesson here to review our paws, our rules for the art room, and then we'll get back to our normal lesson next time. So we are just doing a really quick little project here, just a one-day project. All right, and then if you wanted to add any sort of details to your fins, you can. Now we are going to be coloring with oil pastels, so just understand that you're not going to be able to do little teeny tiny things. Okay, so now we're going to move on to step 5 of our flow map here, and we're going to open it up. And we're going to connect our fish now. So the first thing we're going to do is connect the back of the tail. And then you can connect the front of the tail. And the next thing you can connect is the head, if you did draw a head. And now, of course, we get to do the teeth. And then we can continue, if you were doing a texture on the body, you can continue the texture. Okay, there we go. And now we are on step 6. So we're going to draw a speech bubble. This is why we left so much room out here. So we're going to draw a big kind of oval. And then instead of closing it all the way, when you get to the back of the mouth, you're going to draw a sideways letter V. And that is our speech bubble. And now we're going to recall the key details from the presentation and write them in the speech bubble, which is step 6 here. Okay, so who knows what the first key detail was? Okay, it is P stands for practice positivity. So everybody write down the first key detail. And what was our next key detail? It was A, stands for act responsibly. And what was the next key detail? Was W, work and play safe. And what was our last key detail? It was S, show respect. Okay, very good. And now we are going to move on to the next step, which is learn the term background and draw natural and man-made elements in our background. All right, so background is what's happening in the very furthest from the viewer. So we can look at our definition here. It's the part of the picture plane that seems to be the furthest from the viewer. So it's going to be the water all behind. So if we look at our artwork that we're being inspired by for this, the background is the black here. Sorry, my keyboard, I don't know, something's going on weird. But the background of his is just the plain black here. So ours is going to be the blue. We're actually going to draw some elements for the middle ground, which is what is going to be in between the fish and the background is going to be the middle ground. So the things in the middle. So we are going to do some items that are from man-made fish tanks. So you could draw this pirate ship. You could draw some of this floral arrangement, some of these rocks. You could draw a little castle, any of these. And then you're also going to want to draw some things from natural environments, so the actual ocean. So you could do some corals, some rocks, some extra fish if you want, sea turtles, stingray, jellyfish, anything like that. So let's go ahead and draw the middle ground elements first for our man-made items. So we could draw, first let's draw the ground actually, because we have a ground in both the man-made and the natural environment. So as you can see, I did a wavy line here for my ground. So you could do that. I think on this one, I'm going to do more of like something like this, more of a hill. So draw the line for the ground, and then you can draw some man-made items on your artwork here. So I did a castle in my last one. So on this one, I do like doing the castle, but I'll do maybe that stick bridge there. I've seen those in a lot of fish tanks. So I'm just gonna draw a curve line and maybe another curve line. And then this is kind of just a little tunnel that the fish like to kind of swim in. A couple little bridges there that the fish can swim in and down and around and everything. Okay, and then you can draw something that is in a natural environment as well. So we can go here and we could draw some of the seaweed. So the seaweed is just a wavy line, and it comes to a point and then goes back down there. So we could draw some of that, but just don't draw in the middle section here. Just draw on the bottom section for right now. Could put some going behind it. Okay, so some seaweed there, and then I might actually add another kind of branch thing on this as well. That's kind of all connected there. Kind of like in the fish tank, right? Okay, and now if you want to draw something man-made or natural in the top section, you can do that as well. I might draw, let's see, might draw another fish here, maybe in the fish tank for the man-made environment. All right, and there we go. Okay, so we've got like 3 elements here. Now in our next video, we are going to go ahead and color our fish, okay? So you guys did a really great job with this. I'm really proud of you, and you're gonna just keep up the good work. I just know you will because I believe in you, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. Good job.